Welcome to Spring Pruning for Busy People, where I'll show you in 10 minutes how you can prune your spring garden quick and dirty with no fuss at all for your roses, your lavender, and your herb garden. Let's get going. I'm Steffi, I'm a home gardener here in Attleboro, Massachusetts. It's zone 6 and I love to take you along for the ride, so welcome to my channel. Let's quickly go over the tools which make the job super easy and efficient. That is one of the key tools here, a battery-operated hand pruner from Craftsman. Super easy, very lightweight, so it doesn't weigh your hand down, and really nice to use. Then I have some smaller loopers, not the big ones, but those small loopers I actually use a lot more than even the big ones for like thicker rose stems, which we want to cut. Just some normal snips, and very important, some rose gloves, because I have very, very thorny roses and I don't like to be poked when I do those things, so those are key. Whenever I start a pruning job, no matter for what, I always keep the 3Ds in mind. That is dead, damaged, or diseased. And I look out for anything what might be dead or damaged or diseased and start there and cut those things out, because they won't help the plant for healthy growth in the new season. And after that has been taken out, then I start to look for anything what like crisscrosses in the rows, because you don't want to have like canes rubbing against each other. And as you can tell here, this is a very, very vigilant climbing rose, my David Austin Bathsheba rose, which is going to be gorgeous in a few months from now. And I can see it already pushing a lot of growth. So I would cut out anything which is rubbing or going straight through. For my roses, I always find a lot of damaged stuff on the bottom. I think it's the bunnies or the squirrels or whatever, which chews on some canes. So I definitely cut this one out. I'll cut this one out. This also goes into a direction which I don't want it to grow, because I want everything to go over the arbor. And then I have here a few ones which just don't look great, which I will cut out as well. Then I like to go for like small and spindly branches, like those two, like next to each other, and that just winding into the other ones won't help us. I'm going to cut that one just off, like that one on the bottom here. You also want to pay attention where the new growth points are coming, which you can see here already pushing through. And wherever a growth point is coming, that is a tendency, or that is where potentially a new cane is coming and growing in that very direction. So keep in mind in which direction they are pointing, and if that is a direction you want to have your flower and your plant to grow into. So thinking about that will help that you have too many crisscrossing branches in the end as well. This just helps to keep the plant clean and some airflow in between, and hopefully the disease is in check later on. So I will cut this one down by a lot, probably up to here, minus the main cane. I usually leave that one, but everything around will cut down by a good more than a third, I would argue. And I would also say, don't overthink it. I was super scared in the beginning that I would ruin it. I did it once too early and the frost came in it, and it still bloomed gorgeously the same summer. So I would advise you, don't overthink it. Especially here with my arbor, I try to like take away everything what's like reaching in the arbor, which makes it then hard to walk past. So I kind of want to have it go like ideally straight up and over, but over the time it always gets regularly. So we're done with this climbing rose. You might think that it was a drastic haircut, but wait until you see it in a couple months from now. You won't believe how large and how big and how gorgeous it's going to bloom in June. And yeah, it is something what rejuvenates the plant and will give it a large boost. I will also put some rose tone on the bottom later to give it some extra nutrients. We have also like 3 days of rain coming up here, so that will just help it to give it extra nutrition. And yeah, you will be surprised in June how healthy and how gorgeous this will be. I'll promise you. This is a white lavender, which I'm growing here for a while now, and you can start seeing here already the early sprouts. This is also a lavender, which I always cut hard back, so this doesn't have a woody base yet. And you will be also surprised how drastic the haircut for that one will be. But this is going to be just fine. We got to be a little bit more cautious with the large Munstead lavenders I have over there because they have already a woody base. You do not want to cut into a woody base because that can risk the plant health. But those ones here are perfectly healthy, so I will cut them literally down to like 2 or 3 inches with my tool. And this is the aftermath of that one. And with all power tools, I trust you to use them safely with some protection, right? Be a meaningful and sensible adult. So thank you. My herb box gets a really strong rejuvenation prune as well. They love a hard cut back and usually flourish and grow beautifully for me then in spring again. So I have here some thyme, some sage, that is all oregano, some dead rosemary, which I'm going to pull out. And in the pots, I have the mint. So that's what we're going to cut back. And for this, as this is a smaller box, I usually use my hand pruners. So for the sage, I decided to just leave a few in the middle because in the second season, they go to bloom and actually bloom really pretty. All right, so the box is done. Can grow again. We have some space for some fresh rosemary over here, which doesn't make it through the winter here in our zone 6, unfortunately. But yeah, that is how it starts. So I hope this video is interesting to you and you learned something. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, subscribe and watch another video. Thank you.